Hours ago, Joe.
Yoga, yeah?
See that, man?
Oh, number Julian! Come on, you talk, you get one, you get two.
One, you get two. What does
Where's the
that even mean?
seats here, though, man?
They ain't got
buy one, get one free on that.
Alright, so
Double taxi.
we're going to talk about anti-Semitism.
No, anti-Semitism.
Anti-Semitism, okay. I
So,
think
what
Do you actually like each other, or is it just because you're the only two Jews and then
No, we like each other. We swap beers.
Content over everything!
Beers
So
moving tips.
what it is here, like I'm not going to mention someone's name, but let's just say online, there are certain channels that have live chats. And on those live chats, there is a lot of anti-Semitism I hear, and on one of them I put the video up on my channel, Raspect Corner, subscribe, and on there 45-minute tirade from a guy called Council of Nice Ears. And what he said on there was basically that the Jews have been kicked out of every country, 88 countries, because they've been stealing and looting wherever they go. And there's all this
murdering.
And also
Jewish murder gangs.
this guy called Council of Nice, which is somebody's mod and a regular on a panel, kept on like for 45 minutes. Everything that was spoken about, it went back to the Jews. So he would speak about something, and all of a sudden he's gone back to Jews doing this, Jews doing that. So but the thing is, what I found very surprising, not the fact that he said it, was the fact that no one called him out. So I will say one thing, Pat O'Donnell did try and say, I don't agree with you, but there were other people on the panel and in the mods and stuff, and nobody spoke about it.
So I don't know who Pat O'Donnell is, but I'm Joseph from the Israel Advocacy Movement. Subscribe. And
Pat O'Donnell is the guy that hates the UK, and we're going to deport him when I become Prime Minister.
I just copied him. The main thing I'd like to point out is when people are insecure, they look up to people they think are the opposite of them or that are successful. And so you find that many people who feel insecure in themselves, they seem to attribute everything that's bad in the world with the Jews. The Jews control the media, the Jews control the banks, the Jews control the government, the Jews control Speaker's Corner, the Jews control the free parking in Stamford Hill. Riz asked me about that before. And it's a sign of insecurity. I think the more pertinent or the more pressing point is the silence and the communities where this comes from. When a white person in the UK is anti-Semitic, they're absolutely slated by the press and the left, and everyone comes out. When it comes from other minority communities, there's a certain acceptance and silence of that anti-Semitism. And it's not just anti-Semitism. When there's Islamophobia coming from minority communities, when there's anti-black racism coming from minority communities, the left often doesn't know how to handle it and just goes quiet.
Why do you think that is?
Racist. I don't think. I would disagree. What I would say is
Jews make jokes on Jews. Look at Adam Sandler, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Adam Sandler,
and they diss your own people on movies and that. So how do you feel about that?
And why are you trying to like grab like?
Excuse me, mate.
So there's a difference, but I don't have an issue with somebody making a joke about Jews. I genuinely.
Is that not anti-Semitism though?
No, not necessarily.
They say something that's true, but not makes context.
So my issue, I actually don't even have an issue with people denying the Holocaust. I believe in freedom of speech. I think absolutely Holocaust denial is anti-Semitism, but people should be free to express themselves. No, hear what I'm saying. You're asking a question, then you're not listening to the answer. I'm a free speech advocate. I believe the freedom of speech. I love Content Over Everything's channel because you have a variety of opinions.
Come on, we got COE every time.
So there are laws in place for things like slander. There are laws in place for that. But what I believe is we should be free to say things, and those views should be allowed to be broadcast and challenged. That doesn't mean we have to accept them. So for instance, if somebody says something racist against black people, there are consequences to that in a free society. I mean, here it would be done as race hate, but in America, you can get away with saying certain things under freedom of speech, but there are consequences. You won't be able to get to work because society rejects those views. So I think there's a difference between being able to say something and the acceptance of disgusting views.
Alright, so let me ask you a question. On the channel, I'm going to say Raspect channel.
Nosson don't agree that
Raspect channel, hold on, let me just say something.
No, what I wanted to say
let me just say something. On Raspect channel, you had an individual called Council of Nice Ears, who's a regular and a mod, who clearly stated that the Jews have been kicked out of 88 countries and they've been stealing and looting. Now, let me just say something. That's why this actually said that they to blame for anti-Semitism. Now, if I said the same thing about Muslims, they will be up in arms if I said Muslims went to 88 countries and robbed and stole everything.
But that's not
and that's what is
racist, though.
Islamophobia. But what I'm saying, there's a prejudice against.
You have to differentiate between anti-Semitism, opinion,
you're doing
and racism.
semantics.
People just want to put everything under
Let's forget about the
her
word.
point. Just very
I
quickly,
want
just
to
to
understand what
so anti-Semitism can come in many manifestations. Under Nazi Germany, they used racial profiling. They measured things like the forehead. They said if you had an ear that's joined on here, these were all visual genetic signs of a Jew, and they said that the Jews were racially different from the Aryans.
We got Ralph, that's what Ralph's on.
Separate people, and that's still what Nazis say to this day. So there can be a racial element. In Christendom, there was a religious element to it, and so people often deny the word anti-Semitism. They say anti-Semitism isn't real. It's the same people that say that Islamophobia isn't a real thing. They'll say there's a genuine reason to be afraid of Muslims, so Islamophobia isn't real. And what they're doing, they're playing with the words to try and deny the prejudice. Anti-Jewish prejudice is real. Anti-Islam Muslim prejudice is real. And so and it can come in different manifestations.
But I want to understand what anti-Semitism is, because if someone's saying Jews should go back to their country, I don't see that as racist or anti-Semitism. It's more of discrimination.
If you said the Jews are the cause of all the problems, and they've been going into countries stealing and raping from these countries. Hold on. One thing, would you agree that that's a prejudice?
Is it racist? Just hold on. You said you were from. Where are you from?
I'm born here, but my family's Algerian.
So if people were to say you should go back to Algeria, or Raspect should go back to, I don't actually know.
Say it.
Don't say he's going to come back.
That's hardcore racism. To say blacks and Jews should go back to where they came from. No, but to say that blacks, Jews, Pakistanis, whoever should go back to where they came from, that's racist.
Do you agree that it's across the board? For example, if you say the same thing with Muslims, so it's not anti-Islamic.
I think all oppression is bad. I don't like anti-Semitism, or it's happening at all.
Somebody's a racist, right? They say, oh, blacks should not be in England, right? That's racist. They should apply the same thing to everybody else, Jews or whatever.
But that's why I'm trying to understand what is anti-Semitism.
Yeah, and let's remember, you usually tell someone to start home with.
You're playing word games here. Alright, forget about the word of anti-Semitism. Let's just say prejudice against the group.
So listen, you usually tell someone to go home when they're misbehaving, right? So when someone's telling you to go home, maybe it's based on how you're treating them or how they feel.
So when the EDL say Muslims to go home, is that because the Muslims are misbehaving here?
I don't know, I'm just saying.
Yes, does that apply to Jews based on your religion or to people? I don't understand that. Is it anti-Semitism only based on
So do you classify someone? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Do you classify when someone said on Raspect's channel, Council of Nice Airs, that the Jews have gone to 88 countries in Europe and around the world, and they stole and fleeced all the money and stuff, and that's why they were kicked out, and that's why anti-Semitism was created, because it's the Jews' fault? Do you agree that that is a prejudice against that group, or do you think that's a normal thing?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
You don't know?
It might be a disrespect to the Jewish community.
Disrespect? Saying that
it might be fact though. It might be fact though.
What if it was true?
Maybe the Jews did do that. Maybe they did do that. Maybe the Jews did go into different countries and stole things.
So if I said that, do you see how dangerous that is? Do you know how dangerous that is? Because that's what Hitler was saying.
Okay, so let's break this down. Okay, so do you think it's racist to say that about Jews?
I want to go as far as saying racist though.
Nah, you're not
Do you think it's racist to say that?
I want to go as far as saying racist.
Let me ask you the next question. Do you think it's racist to say that about black people?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the difference between saying about Jews and black people?
Because black people is a race, they can't change that, yeah? This is a religious
Jews
group.
can't change.
You can't can come out your religion. That's a belief. Somebody's skin colour, they can't change that. Somebody's skin colour, right? They can't change that they're born like that. So the fact that they're being oppressed because of simply the fact that they're black, that is racist.
You know what it is?
If somebody's Jewish, you can still believe. Doesn't affect you like that.
Do you know that there's a huge proportion of Jews in the world don't Judaism?
I don't know about Jews.
But that's what we're talking about, Jews. So it's important to know these things. Jews are a people, like Kurds are a
You got John McDermott for them slapping him.
So Jews are a
So
people.
they're a race.
So you can call them an ethnicity, you can call them a race, you can call
So
them.
can a black person be a Jew?
Yeah, they're a black. No, it's so black person can convert to Judaism, or they can be born Jewish. So Ethiopian Jews are black, Polish Jews are white, but they have shared DNA. They have similar DNA, so they're an ethnic people.
Is Jews, to be Jewish,
Yeah.
is it a race or is it a religion? Or is it both?
It's a people who have a religion. So it's kind of a race.
So who are the original Jews?
So this is the question. It's a weird question, but the original Jews came from Israel. They were the Jews that stood at Mount Sinai with Moses. So it doesn't say what colour they were. They were most likely tan. They were most likely darker than I am. I've got a lot of Irish blood. And
but that's a bit like an Irish person Jew when it originated in Israel. So
So I've got converts in my family. I've got Jewish, like, going all the way back to. I've even got, I think, Canaanite DNA. So Jewish DNA, non-Jewish DNA from the Middle East, and like it drew a map around biblical Israel. So probably Canaanite or something like that. But irrespective of that, the Jews are a people, and therefore the Nazis didn't discriminate against the Jews because of their religion. They did so on racial theory. Most of the racial theories that targeted people were developed and evolved by the Nazis in Germany, and it wasn't based on the Jewish religion. Hitler targeted Jews because they had Jewish grandparents. You didn't even have to be like a Jewish, in Judaism, if you got a Jewish mum, you're Jewish. Yeah, in German, so if you had one Jewish grandparent, they considered you Jewish and they put you to death. So that's why it's when people say Jews back to Israel or Jews back go home, it's just as racist as saying blacks.
So have you faced anti-Semitism?
Yes, many times. I've been physically attacked, I've been spat on, I've been persecuted. Since before I looked visually Jewish, before I went round with tzitzit and Jewish skull caps, not at all, because
that the Jewish community in the UK is a little bit segregated. Like they do have their own look. They're not very integrated with other cultures as more as they could be.
I would say they're as integrated as the Muslim community. And the Muslim. So what I was trying to explain with that is, it's similar. Jews who are in the more progressive streams of Judaism, you wouldn't know they're Jewish. They're in normal workplaces. They look like any other person. Jews who are really, really religious, ultra-Orthodox, like in Stamford Hill, they do look separate and they do live quite a segregated life, and they're segregated from the majority of Jews in the UK as well. Even the majority of Orthodox Jews, there are particular factions within Stamford Hill, and so I don't think that Jews are segregated, or they're certainly no more segregated than Muslims. There are segregated Muslims.
Muslims are a bit more integrated than the Jewish community. I don't see no Jews around, to be honest with you, and the only time I do is if it's Golden Street or Stamford Hill, that's their own.
But that's my point, because the majority of Jews don't look like that, so you don't even know they're Jewish.
Okay. So
they're so integrated, even more so. So this is the skull cap. I've got one. Yeah. Most Jews have anglicised names. So you have a Hebrew name. My name in Hebrew is Yosef. In English it's Joseph. Whereas the Muslims were very proud of their identity. They didn't fear persecution, and they retained their Muslim name. So what I was trying to say with that is, when I look at this with envy. When Muslims came to the UK, Muhammad didn't become martyred, he remained Muhammad. You retain your new
But do you agree that Muslims are facing a lot of oppression in this day and age?
I think
because
in the
of their religion, because of their beliefs.
Yeah, I do think that Muslims are persecuted. Yeah. I would be stupid to say otherwise. So that doesn't mean the majority
of
of
Britain. What I'm trying to say is, obviously, Raspect say, we black people, we're being oppressed. You say anti-Semitism, I'm saying Islamophobia. So we're all being oppressed in different types of way. I don't think it should be. But hold on, Raj. I don't think it should be a competition as to who's been oppressed more. I think that's what unites us, because we feel what you feel. We have been through it. We feel the pain. We feel the same attack that you're going through. So anything that should unite us. Shouldn't be a competition as to, we're more oppressed than you and you had it all. No. We've all been oppressed in some sort of way. So that should give us an understanding of each other. Do you understand? Because we feel the same thing.
No, the conversation was more about the hypocrisy of certain groups being able to criticise other groups. So the main conversation is that online, certain groups, like the Jews especially, I've heard so much anti-Semitism, and nobody challenges it. It goes totally under the radar, and people just seem like they condone it. But as soon as you say something against Muslims, or you say something against blacks or something like that, immediately you're on their back that you're an Islamophobe, that you're a racist.
No, you're right. I think anyone that has any sort of racism, if you really stand up for people and you disagree with racism, you will disagree with all sorts of racism. Like, obviously, as Muslim Jews, you know we have this little battle thing going on between us. You can't deny it. But you know where I'm talking about Palestine, Israel, and them things there, yeah? But I wouldn't take it as far where I wouldn't say F Jews or Jews should be killed or something bad should happen to Jews. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go that far. So, alhamdulillah. So, if you're against racism, you should be against all racism. So even if you hear it, even if it's against somebody that's not Muslim, you should talk about it. You should say something.
Can I ask just one second. Do you condemn the talker, the speaker, Council of Nicaeans, who was on Raspect's show and he's on model knees on a regular basis? Do you condemn him for the 45-minute tirade against Jews that is on my channel? So when people do hear it, I want you to condemn that man, because that man is a nasty piece of work.
I'm going to take this conversation.
My man said, what about the gurus?
Yeah, and I big up to Raspect for that.
I thought that was very noble of Raspect when he did that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
What I would add, one thing I'll take this to a term which most people, or a lot of people will challenge. One of the dark.
We got some Wiley corner, bro. We got some Wiley corner. Subscribe, like, do everything.
Is that you can't be racist against white people, and you absolutely can be racist against white people. And I think it's a stupid argument to suggest that one group of people can't suffer from persecution from another group of people because of their skin colour. It's because of their skin colour they can be persecuted.
So when you say, oh, you're the son of Yakub, that to me is a racist comment. Because you're saying that white people are the children of the devil.
I think without there may be
versions of racism though. Like,
who's Yakub?
what I might class racist, you might not class as racist. What you might class as racist, I might not class as racist. So for me, you need to understand what it means to be racist, to be honest with you. So what I personally feel like racism is if you oppress somebody based on their religion and based on their skin colour. That's what I feel. So, especially something like skin colour, man can't change his skin colour. He was born like that. So the fact that, like, regardless if he's a nice person, regardless if he's a compassionate person, you're judging him basically on his skin colour, something that he can't change, something that he can't do about, and take into account the previous oppression with the slavery, with all them things there. So I feel like that's very racist and also religious as well. So some people, yeah, you can choose what religion you want to be in, but if you're a devout Muslim and you're just being oppressed and simply believing and praying, then that's also racism.
I've been oppressed, man. I've been oppressed.
Why are you being oppressed?
By a lot of guys.
What colour was they?
They're calling me fucking, like, they're going, no, you're this or that.
They said you're this and that.
They called you all this.
What colour was they?
Yeah.
Whose friend are you? Whose friend are you?
Let me give you context. Omar, the rap boy, he come over to me and he was harassing me and I don't want to talk to the man. And so he just intervened and then they were saying, oh, you're racist, just because he's white. And remember, I am brown as well, so you was
and they said he's this and that. They said he's this and that as well.
You make it a joke. You make it a joke.
Some people, like Omar will say, oh, you're racist, EDR, blah, blah, blah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. You make it a joke.
If you're being oppressed,
You made it a joke, you said this and that.
Also, can I just extend, racism isn't just oppression, it's prejudice as well. So oppression is a degree above just straight prejudice. Somebody cannot, as an example, you'll have people who say, I wouldn't want my children to marry this race of people. That's racist. They may not be oppressing them, but it's still racist.
I spoke to the guys over there and they was like, don't, like, why are you speaking? I was like,
that's not racist though, mate.
no, it was like, why are you listening? I was like, I'm literally
Yeah, but that's not
listening to
racist though.
It is racist.
Ow.
They said that you can't.
Did they say because you're white you can't speak?
Yeah.
Did they say that?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Who done it? Come, let's go and find them. Who done it?
I don't know about that.
They did.
Let's go find them and fuck him up.
You're white as well, so what are you talking about?
I'm Arab.
He's
I'm Arab.
You're white as well.
What are you talking about?
Listen.
What are you talking about?
Okay, my skin colour is white, yeah? My blood is Arab, I am Arab. And
Let's go get him, let's go get him.
You're telling me I'm white, I'm not white. If I'm not white English, I might be white by skin colour, but I'm not English, mate.
You are
I'm
Caucasian
not
though.
English.
I should
I'm
know.
not English.
You are Caucasian.
I should know
okay,
then. Why does it matter if you're English or not?
I'm not English,
Who
and I
cares?
don't want to be
Why?
English.
Why do you say
I'm
she's not
Iraqi,
English? Why does it
Algerian.
matter? Why
I'm
does it
proud of my
matter?
heritage.
Why does it
I'm
matter?
Algerian.
Why does it matter?
It does
Why does it
matter because
matter?
that's my identity.
Who
I'm
cares?
not going to pretend to be white
What?
because my skin colour is white because I'm not white.
What? So I can't listen to a conversation
That's
over
not my
there? They're
business,
going,
bro. That's not my
what's your
business. I don't know why you're coming here telling me.
Exactly, it's not your business. It's not my business.
Yeah, so why?
I was trying to listen to a conversation over there, and it's like you can't get involved.
Oh, well, I'm
What's
sorry
wrong
about
with
that,
you?
fam. You
Yeah,
need
exactly.
get some counselling there, man.
Exactly. It works both ways. It works both ways.
Have you been drinking, bro?
Exactly. That's what they call.
No, but seriously, have you? I'm
Oh,
asking
you've
you.
been drinking.
No, but you do seem like you're a bit.
Hey Raj, who was it? You told him that he can't join in because he's
What's
white.
your proof? I'm
You
drinking.
told him that he can't join in because he's
What's your
white.
no? What's your proof?
You seem a little bit
What's your
like.
proof?
Like
Exactly.
The behaviour.
Same. You too.
Oh, okay.
Have you been drinking?
I don't drink, so I'm Muslim.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Exactly.
Come on, bro. We're going to go Matt D's in a minute anyway, man. Don't worry.
Is that your friend, Rod? Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know him,
but
he was okay with me. I don't know him.
You can have an opinion, but I can't.
No, you can have an opinion, mate.
Not when you're drunk, man.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your opinion?
What? I stood over there and was like, you got
no, well, that's not right, mate.
Yeah.
Why people are just drawn?
It's not right, mate. Let's go and have it. Let's go and get him.
He's wearing loose. I need to go there.
You're arguing the same thing.
I'm not.
You're arguing the same thing.
I don't understand what you're talking about, mate.
You're arguing the same thing.
I'm not arguing.
But you're saying you're not allowed an opinion. I can't say.
No, mate, I don't know what you're talking about.
I think everyone agrees that racism's bad. We're all friends.
Prejudice and all kind of.
We're all different shades of.
Hey, Jones, what's the difference between racism and prejudice?
What's the difference between?
I like his gays.
What?
I like his gays.
Oh, shit. There we go.
No, that's all good, fam. You see this? Let me say something. You got these people out here that can say what they want, bro, yeah? That just shows what kind of person you are. That don't affect this. Cool. As Muslims, we don't care about that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the Almighty God. We have these kuffs, these little kuffs, yeah? These little crackheads, man, yeah? Come in here, trying to say this and that, yeah? So I don't care, bro. Fuck you, fuck England. How about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so what? Yeah, so what?
Go back to the
What the desert is better than this is cold in my country. My country is beautiful. My country's got nice palm trees, nice sun. You're not cold out here, fam. Don't chat shit.
You don't want to say anything.
Get rid of this drum card, man. This little crackhead, this nitty, fam. Go home, man.
You pay money to go to see this.
I will.
Your country pay money to see this.
I will. Go home, fam. Go home.
It's own time. It's own time.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Yeah, so what you want?
Mate, you're by yourself. There's a lot of.
Yeah, what?
You're going to regret what
I will go back to the beautiful desert where I can catch a nice tan, where I can eat some nice, do not know flipping. I'm even going to talk. I'm even going to talk.
You're in the right.
Just remember, I just want to say something. Hopefully, I don't agree with what you said there. I think you should apologise in my opinion.
Yeah, so why is no one saying that? So no one saying that. In my eyes, saying Allah's gave him. It's dumb. Why is that? Exactly. If I say something about him, you're going to see how people start acting.
Oh, no, but just for the sake of Alright, I'm going to just say
what this guy's done is he's a racist. He's drunk some alcohol to get some confidence, and he's come in thinking that he can say what he wants, fam. But I guarantee you outside he's not even talking, fam. He's begging it to black man, begging it to white man. Yo, I like you lot. Then he's coming here drunk like that, thinking he can say what he can say.
You feel good now, yeah?
Go rehab, fam. Go rehab, man. You're nitty, fam.
Rehab?
Yeah, you look like one from what? Bro, you look like a nitty, fam.
Let's leave it. It'll come back next time. When you look back, you'll man. Come on, you're a good guy, but don't say stuff like that, man. It does come across as being racist.
No. We done that.
Get him out. Get out of here, man. Get out, man.
And they can go home, man. Go home. And man, they can go home, man.
He's saying seriously.
Leave him, he's wasted.
Let's go ahead. Get out of here, fam.
He just stuck it to the side.
Get out of here, man.
What's the what?
Get out of here.
Problem with the guy said.
Raj bodyguard.
Raj bodyguard. You come here to speak. You're allowed to have your opinion, but somebody like that is not somebody that's willing to have an intellectual debate, not willing to talk. He's clearly drunk, he's clearly on something, so he's going to disrespect people's religion. That's how people get hurt, fam. And we're still here, being patient, trying to let it go over our heads. This is what shows you these white supremacists what they're on, fam. This is what they're on, fam. They come here, they think, oh, Speaker's Corner, I can say what the hell I want. So they think they can come here and be disrespectful to people. And then we Muslims have to sit here and be quiet, fam. The moment we say something about other people, you're going to see how the feds come, you're going to see how they're going to start protesting, you're going to see how Tommy Robinson's going to come and try to do a whole madness.
Do you mean that guy over there? He's drunk.
Oh, he looks drunk. I don't know if he's drunk, but the way he's acting, he's obviously not drunk. He's shit. Alright, cool. So he says it too, fam. The guy's obviously out of his head, man. So what?
It's a shit face, it's true.
We don't want to touch him, we don't want to hurt him, fam. You know what I'm saying? But this just shows what people are coming here to do. They come here, they have a little drink, think they can get some confidence, but outside this
That's courage. That's courage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Content over everything from your melanin. Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC.
man don't listen to ITV.
So all I'm going to say is...
No one's going to be... I did attack you before. I'm telling him you can't get attacked here. So you can't get around the place.
He hugged me and told me,
oh man, you're saying the right things, you're saying the right things. How are you?
He asked me 3 or 4 times, man. Every single time, I'm from Ukraine, man. I'm from Ukraine.
About 5 laps for us to be just I have a right to speak to who I want to and say what I want. Now, Rat Boy said such